Hello, my name is Radia. I'm a chef. I am making a Filipino chicken adobo. So if you want to make this recipe, I'm using a version of the recipe on the New York Times. So they have two recipes, Filipino chicken adobo and then Filipino chicken adobo with coconut milk. So that's what I'm making today. And I'm kind of merging my recipe that I've just made over the years with their recipe, but you can follow their recipe, you're gonna get a similar result. So Filipino chicken adobo, I believe it's like there's the country's dish, signature dish. So we have coconut milk, soy sauce in here, soy sauce, and then some vinegar. And so that's going to give us like the sour, salty flavor that you find a lot in Filipino cooking. Just side note, I grew up in, hello, thank you so much for joining. I am making a Filipino chicken adobo. You can find the recipe. I'm using a combination of the New York Times recipe and then just stuff that I've been creating on my own. Hello, thank you so much for joining. Hope you guys are well. So I have like 4 or 5 chicken thighs over here. It's really delicious. If you've never tried Filipino food, try it. Chicken adobo, sinigang, lumpia. So I grew up in the Bay Area, so I had a lot of Filipino friends. Also my mother's best friend, my mom was in the Navy. Her best friend was this Filipino woman. And so she is the reason why I started eating Filipino food since I was a little girl. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. And like I said, you can find the recipe. I'm just using the New York Times recipe and a version of my own because I've been making it for 30 years. So let's follow along. I'm gonna turn the stove on because I wanna get the pan really hot because I'm gonna sear the chicken. And I'll move the camera so you guys can see it. We're just gonna let it start. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. This is going to take an hour to cook. So I'm gonna come back live at 1:30 Central Time. So if you wanna see the finished results. Let's see, I only know how to make a French omelet. Well, that's impressive. That's impressive, French omelet, because that means it's not brown at all. That actually takes a lot of technique. So congrats to you, good job. Okay, so I have the chicken over here. Also, we're gonna put in the peppercorns. I have some bay leaves, and then I have about 6 cloves of garlic. So I just need to chop that up. And just like a little tip that for garlic, if you can buy a big pack of peeled garlic, now look, it's not gonna be as fresh as peeling your own, but at my old job, we would just buy like a gallon of peeled garlic and we would just run it through. Oh, you're only 13. Oh, I'm very impressed with you. That's very impressive. Keep on cooking, okay? And so we would just run it through a food processor. It's called a RoboCoupe for professional kitchens. And we'd put it in a baggie. So whenever we needed like minced garlic, we'd always have it. Put it in like a Ziploc bag, cut it into like cubes with like the back of a knife. And then every time you need some garlic, it's already minced for you. So that's just a little chef tip. All right, so I have the oven, not the oven. I have the stove on with getting everything preheated because I want to sear the chicken. So you're not going to season this chicken. And I know it sounds crazy, like, oh my God, what do you mean we're not going to season the chicken? This has soy sauce. The soy is going to be salty enough. Trust me, it just works. You don't need to season it. So follow me. We're going to go over to the stove so you guys can see it. Let me grab the chicken. All right. And we just want to get a good sear on the chicken. So what does that mean? So we just want to get some color on the chicken. I'm gonna get my tongs. And I'm gonna do skin side down. So you should have heard that sizzle. That's when you know that the oil is hot. So I have 4 pieces of chicken in here. Ooh, alrighty, it's popping. Okay, now while that is cooking, browning, I'm just gonna chop up. Hello, thank you for joining. I'm just gonna go ahead and mince up the garlic. Actually, let me turn this down just a little bit. And we're just gonna brown it on both sides. And then literally you just dump everything in. So this is a 1-pot dish. I'm gonna make some rice to go with it, but this is super easy if you're busy, if you're a busy mom, busy dad, or just busy single person, and you just want to throw everything into a pot, you can do that. Even if you didn't want to brown the chicken, you could get away with it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just mince the garlic with my knife. You wanna make sure you have a sharp knife when you do this, so you get fine little pieces. And actually having an unsharp knife in the kitchen is actually really dangerous because you're gonna be applying a lot of pressure just to get it to cut. So make sure that you keep your knives sharpened. And if you're not used to sharpening your knives, you can find like any kitchen store and they'll sharpen your knives for you. Also, if you're just starting cooking, don't pay a lot of money for a knife. Just get a regular knife. I have like cheap knives going back 15 years from when I started in culinary school, and I still use them to this day. So, hello, thank you so much for joining. I'm making chicken adobo. Let's see how this is looking. Okay, it needs a little bit more color. So as far as the ingredients, like I said, I have the coconut milk, the soy sauce. Oh, I have a little bit of red pepper flakes, just for like a little bit of heat. It's not gonna be spicy. You'll just feel like a little bit of warmth when you eat it. And this is gonna go over just some plain white rice. So, like I said, it's super easy, delicious. You don't have to babysit this. All you have to do is brown your chicken. And like I said, if you don't want to brown your chicken, that's fine. It'll still taste good. Because what's going to happen when you cook it, the chicken is almost going to like start falling apart, and that's what you want. So you can even remove the skin. Not a big deal. So yeah. So that's what I have. I'm just going to make this just a little bit finer. And if you go online and Google chicken adobo, you're gonna have like 50 different recipes, but they all have like the same ingredients for the most part. Now I will say the coconut milk is a new addition because usually I just do it with vinegar and soy sauce, but I saw this recipe on the New York Times and I was like, wow, that's interesting. So there apparently is part of the Philippines where they do use coconut milk, but it isn't common. So when you're buying coconut milk, you want to make sure it doesn't have like all these different ingredients in it. This has 3 ingredients, so it's, let me get my glasses. So it's coconut water and guar gum. And so guar gum is a stabilizer. So you just want to buy one that doesn't have like a lot of stuff in it. Whole Foods makes a really good brand of coconut milk. So that's your lesson for coconut milk. Okay, so I'm gonna just turn the chicken. Let me just see where we are. Okay, gonna need a little bit more time. So I'm gonna grab some rice. Okay, so I have a big bag of jasmine rice, and I think I'm just gonna make like enough for 4 people. So that's gonna be, let's see, let me get, that's gonna be like a cup of rice. Alrighty. And you wanna just rinse your rice. So how's everyone doing on this Sunday? Any plans for the day? I have no plans. No plans. I'm just gonna cook and eat my food and just hang out. Okay, so this is brownie. I'm just gonna flip it over. And then I'm just going to rinse my rice. And you just want to rinse it so that when you cook it, it doesn't get all clumped together. And also you just want to rinse off anything that you don't want to eat in it. So, and you just want the water to be like clear. All right, so I'm just gonna keep rinsing. And I like to just rinse with cool water. Okay, so this is pretty much done. It's coming out where the water is clear. You can see through to it. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna set that aside. So we are ready to go ahead and get everything started. So let's move. I'm gonna show you as I make everything. Okay, so to this, I'm going to add the garlic. All right, so we have the garlic. I'm going to add the soy sauce. And again, the chicken isn't seasoned because soy sauce is very salty. I'm gonna grab the vinegar. I'm gonna add in the peppercorns. This is going to be a half cup of vinegar. And I'm going to add in the coconut milk. Okay. And you want to essentially be able to cover the chicken, so you might have to add a little bit of water. Actually, I think this is okay. I'm gonna add the pepper flakes in. And then also I have 2 bay leaves. Okay. And you just want to stir everything together. And so you can see the sauce has kind of like a brownish color. This is just going to cook for like an hour. An hour on the stove. I'm going to get my rice going. It is 12:30 here. I'm going to sign off. Come see me in an hour so you can see what it looks like at 1:30 Central Time, and then you can see how it looks plated. So again, come back in about an hour and I'm gonna show you what this looks like. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in an hour. Bye. Okay, so if you guys were just on my live from an hour ago, I made chicken adobo. So if you've never heard of chicken adobo, it's a Filipino dish, and it has soy sauce, vinegar, black peppercorns, lots of garlic, bay leaves, and it's been simmering for like an hour. I use chicken thighs. Hello. Hello, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you like and subscribe. So yeah, so I'm just gonna show you what everything looks like after it's been cooking for an hour. And you can see, I'm just gonna kind of, so this is what it looks like. So it's like, the sauce has like reduced and it's become thick. So good. So I'm gonna go ahead and plate. Also, I poured myself a glass of wine. Make sure you pour yourself a glass of wine. I'm drinking a Sauvignon Blanc. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and just take my rice, see? And then I'm just gonna take a piece of the chicken. And then I'm gonna take some of that sauce because it's all about the sauce. And so remember, the sauce is just coconut milk, vinegar, just regular white vinegar, and soy sauce. It has some aromatics like bay leaves, whole black peppercorns, lots of garlic. I used 6 cloves of garlic, just mince it. And so this is the Filipino chicken adobo. So I'm gonna go in for a taste. Now, if you wanna make this, like I said, it's a combination of like my recipe and the New York Times recipe. But again, use whatever recipe. You really can't mess this up. You really can't mess it up. Like I said, it's good when you're like busy. You could just put it on the stove. An hour later, you have dinner, you have lunch. Hi, thank you so much for joining me. And I'm gonna take a bite. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm gonna be doing some other content. This is hot, you can see the steam. But look at how the gravy is over the rice. This is so good. Also, if you don't like dark meat, you can use white meat chicken. Oh, this is so good. So yeah, guys, you see how easy that was? I hope you'll make it. Super easy. I'm gonna go ahead and finish eating. I'm starving, it's lunchtime where I am. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for joining me. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.